The game modes in Call of Duty are the foundation that dictate how you play each game. With over 20 titles, it makes a lot of sense that we've seen a lot of different ones through the years, and some of the older ones have never been seen again. I'm Ornery, and these are the forgotten game modes of Call of Duty. To be forgotten, the game mode has to simply not been in any recent Call of Duties, so with that in mind, go ahead and comment your favorite game mode that we don't have in modern COD. This was one of the best game modes in the early days of Call of Duty. Sabotage was similar to Search and Destroy, but with respawns, and each team was attacking and defending at the same time. A bomb site was in each team's spawn, and the actual bomb was dead center of the map. Teams fought over the bomb to then arm the enemy team's bomb site, then defend it until it detonates, resulting in the win. This was a single round game and also had a slight respawn timer to make clearing an enemy team much more valuable since the respawns were near the bomb regardless. With these respawns also led to some crazy spawn traps that were insufferable, and many people played the game like it was just team deathmatch to farm kills in this way. There was also a lot of camping incentive, which resulted in stalemates, causing the game to go the full 20-minute duration, which is super long for a game of COD. I think XGen versus Abnormal back in 2010 had a competitive Sabotage match that lasted several hours, just to give you an idea. There are also some servers that if the game went into a draw, they would have an overtime round where there was no respawns, which is a really fun concept, pretty much turning the game into a round 11 S&D. Sabotage was a staple to the Call of Duty playlists, but has since been neglected for whatever reason, and we even got like cool spin-off modes like Money in the Dank in Modern Warfare 3. The next game mode is kind of tricky because we have a handful of different iterations of it, but World at War was the first version. In War, a neutral flag was positioned in the center of the map, and whoever captured it would move it onto the next flag, which is closer to the enemy spawn. Then after capturing that, you have one more flag to capture right in the heart of the spawn, which ends the game. The losing team is able to capture the point to move it back a segment. With that in mind, you could pretty much call this a Call of Duty tug of war. There's also a really unique momentum system where if your team is just frying on kills, your team can capture points 2 or even 3 times as fast. If no team wins, there is a sudden death round, which is very intense. 1 point objective wins it all. This game mode will be brought back in Advanced Warfare with momentum, pretty much the same exact game mode. However, in World War II, we have the same idea, but instead of simply capturing a point, it involved a handful of more objectives. We're also like a little more hands-on. From arming a bomb, building a bridge, and even escorting a tank, the cool thing here is that one team attacks and you see how far they go, then you switch over and whoever does it faster or further wins. On top of this, there was also buildable turrets and cover to make for some more options, and this template would be carried over into MW23 where we have the exact same concept but only on a pathetic 2 maps. I love this game mode because it's a nice break from the original core game modes. It kind of makes you feel like you're playing a campaign mission in multiplayer. The modern day war mode is honestly pretty fun. I just think it's completely neglected. Like I said, we only have 2 maps for this game mode, and I'm pretty sure we're not getting another one anytime soon, if at all, but I would love to see the classic war game mode make a return. Go ahead and comment if you ever had the chance to play Global Thermal Nuclear War in Modern Warfare 2. Let's get one thing out of the way, and that's that this mode has never made it into live servers. But Global Thermal Nuclear War was a game mode that was supposed to come out, but just never did. Anyways, modders were able to port it into the game, and the beautiful thing about it was it had like this infection effect, where if you simply played in a private match where this mode was being played, you would then have this mode in your game mode selection in your own private match. The objective was really simple. A bomb site was in the center of the map, acted as a capture point where your team would try and secure a nuke. Your progress would save, and it was pretty much just a race as to who could fill it up first, and once a team captured the nuke, it would automatically detonate and that team would win. This game mode could probably never work in a game like Modern Warfare 2 since explosives just went crazy, but I like the idea since the only way a team can win is by a game-ending nuke. That means aside from securing the nuke objective, the only other way to end the game is if someone gets a nuke of their own with a 25 kill streak. Like I said, it never made it to live servers, but they must have been pretty close to adding it to the game considering that they had the announcer's audio for the game mode and everything, but then ended up just not putting it in.
Hardcore global thermonuclear war.
I'm gonna kind of cheat on this next one, and that's to take an entire playlist as a game mode. In Black Ops 1, we got the wager match, which is a way to wager your COD points for more COD points, and COD points were your way of unlocking literally everything in Black Ops 1, by the way, if you didn't know. Anyways, there were a few different game modes that you could buy into, all of which were free-for-all based. This was also the first time we would ever see these like party modes in Call of Duty. The first one was One in the Chamber, which we all know is everyone gets a pistol with 1 bullet. If you get a kill with that, you get another bullet. You had 3 lives as well. Then you had Gun Game, which is a game mode mode that everyone knows, and it's still in Call of Duty today. Everyone had to cycle through the same series of guns, and whoever did it first wins. Then there's Sticks and Stones, which is just crossbows and ballistic knives, and since we haven't had ballistic knives in Call of Duty for quite some time, I don't see this one coming back anytime soon. But the mode that I'm not sure has ever made a return in modern Call of Duty is Sharpshooter, which is a mode where the gun would cycle, but everyone would have to use that same exact gun, and on top of that, each kill would give you a perk until you reached 4 kills, where you would get double points for every kill after that. The game would end after a time limit, and whoever had the most score wins. Not exactly a super groundbreaking game mode, but kind of fun and a nice little like even playing field, I guess, since everyone has to use the exact same guns and you get rewarded directly for kills. Thought it was worth a mention. This is another one of my favorite game modes that has no reason to not be in modern COD. This to me is just a better team deathmatch that gives it a little more objective. It's classic team deathmatch to 7,500, but instead of 100 points per kill, you only get 50 unless you're holding the flag. A neutral flag spawns in the middle, and if your team is holding the flag, every kill your team gets is doubled. The flag carrier is also visible on the map for all to see, so on top of just trying to frag out, you're going to want to defend your flag carrier or attack the enemy if they have it. Basically a twist on oddball and team deathmatch. Also, if you played the Black Ops 6 beta the last 2 weekends, you know that kill order is kind of similar to this, but in kill order, each team has a person who's like the defender, and it's randomly assigned, and they also have armor, which I think is kind of lame. I personally would just rather play team defender. If you like Overwatch or Team Fortress, Safeguard is the mode for you. Basically acting as a payload, one team is escorting a robot, and the other is preventing the robot from advancing. Pretty simple concept here. If you're the escorting team, you have to be near the robot for him to move, and more people near him make him move faster. But what makes this interesting is if you're the defending team, you can actually shoot the robot until he has a cooldown and completely stops moving, so the escorting team needs to do everything they can to prevent that from happening. Anyways, it's a best out of 3 rounds, and you alternate after each round, which is kind of cheesy since the last round is pretty random as far as if you're attacking or defending, because defending is way easier. But with some reworks, I think this game mode could make a return. Now, if you're a COD OG, you would know that Uplink was featured in the CWL during the jetpack era of Call of Duty. First introduced in Advanced Warfare, this is definitely the most outlandish mode we've ever seen in competitive COD. A ball spawns in the middle of the map, and each team has a goal in their spawn, and the objective is to take the ball and bring it to the enemy's goal to score. You can score by throwing it, which is worth 1 point, but if you carry it in, it gives you 2. The big factor here is that these are jetpack games, which make things a lot more fun with this game mode. There's just a lot of crazy things that can happen because of this, like interceptions and passing to teammates, which make for some awesome plays. There's also techs like throwing the ball at the enemy so they have to pick it up and can't shoot back. Anyways, this mode is rumored to return in Cold War, which I would love to see happen, only I don't know if they can really make it work with the movement system. Maybe with Omni movement, this game mode could actually be crazy, but I guess we'll wait and see. Again, this is just a rumor, but it'd be cool to see it back. I think it's also worth mentioning Gridiron here, which was World War II's version of this game. Obviously, since this was a boots to the ground game, the goal was on the ground, and I don't know if it really worked as well. I just think this game mode is definitely designed to be played with jetpacks. Blitz is pretty much the exact same as Uplink, only instead of delivering a ball, you're now just delivering your entire player. Once you make it to the enemy's portal, you're immediately teleported to your portal, giving you a full reset. I personally like this mode a lot, and it kind of works a lot better for the boots to the ground formula. The only reason I think this game mode is entirely overlooked is because it existed in the forgotten game Call of Duty Ghosts. By the way, I don't even think it's that bad of a game. But since it's on one of the most forgettable Call of Duties, it became one of the most forgettable game modes. Probably the most bizarre game mode on this list, Old School mode completely changed the COD formula. Only in COD 4 and COD 4 Remastered, everyone spawned in with the Scorpion and would have to build their loadout from finding items around the map. This meant grenades, new guns, and even perks were scattered all around the map. On top of this, you also had much more health and a higher jump. It's basically trying to emulate like old FPS games and was really just like a direct competitor to Halo at the time. To me, it's not really fun at all and was only available in free-for-all as well, so like if you don't like free-for-all, you're probably not even going to play it. But with this extended jump, you can now get out of nearly every map, which was a lot of fun. And if you couldn't get out of the map, you could at least find some cheese spots that were also pretty cool. There is an entire rabbit hole you can go down with glitch spots in Old School mode in COD 4. Boot camp was only in World at War and Black Ops 2 and is pretty much the equivalent of using a VPN today. I was debating whether to include this game mode or not since you can only play it until you're level 8, but I feel like it deserves a spot on this list because of how bad SBMM is today. Boot camp was a mosh pit mode that put you in lobbies with other players below level 8 so you can learn the game but still play against real players. I honestly think this is just teasing modern COD players since SBMM has ruined the game. But those are the forgotten game modes in Call of Duty. Let me know which game modes you want to see be brought back. If you think there's one that should have been on this list, go ahead and comment it down below. The reason I say that is there's definitely modes I did not mention on here because I'm debating on maybe making a part 2, so let me know if you want that as well. Check out my playlist, join my Discord if you're feeling crazy, and if you liked, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and thank you so much for watching.